Hi, welcome to Books and Bocadillos. My name is Maria Andrea, and it's Tuesday night, and it's super late. And I was thinking I was editing a video that I just recorded for this behind the scenes book tag. I was tagged today by Gina at Library Mouse. Gina, thank you to do this tag that was created by Robert G. Reader of Books. It was a brilliant tag. Thank you, Robert. And I spent so much time like recording and was really excited about it. And then I realized, I don't know why, but my camera stopped recording and I didn't know that it had stopped recording. So when I went to go edit, I had like 2 minutes of content and that was it. So it's behind the scenes, right? Let's get to it. This is take 2. So I was tagged by Library Mouse Gina, and I'm just going to go through the prompts from my phone, and I'm probably going to try to be a little breezier this time around because I was very thoughtful in my first video. That was Gina saying, "Hi, everybody." Hi, Gina. So here are the prompts. I have Gina's video on my phone, and I'm reading from her description box. Question number 1. When recording a post, do you read from a prepared script, or do you refer to notes or a broad outline, or do you speak extemporaneously? So for this video, I am speaking extemporaneously. For a week in review video, like the ones that I make on my channel, I usually have an outline of the sections that I usually talk about in that video. I might make little notes, like especially like I jot down the books for each category, like the read, the DNFs, the currently reading. If there are any booktube events or any channels that I want to mention, I have those written down in my notes so that way when I am talking, I don't leave things out. I still leave things out. Like I'll record a video, get it posted, and then I'll be putting my head on my pillow and thinking, I forgot that Judy Blume book. That happens often. And when I record a book review, so the last book review I did extemporaneously. I did a book review about Annette Chavez Macias's book, Too Soon for Adios. I loved it so much, I had to like talk about it. I could not, like, I just had to, like, I needed to talk to someone about it. So I came on my channel and just raved about it because it was so unexpected. I did not expect to love it as much as I did. And so that one I was just extemporaneous, impromptu, flight of ideas kind of a book review. For other book reviews, generally I try to have a structure, I try to have an outline, I try to think ahead about what I want to say, how I want to say, the flow of the book review. So I do a lot of like note taking, not a script, but I do have a pretty good, well developed outline. Not like my weekend review videos where it's just like maybe, lists of things. It's more of like thoughts and points and maybe like, yeah, a little bit more detail, more like full thoughts written down. And for tags, this tag doesn't require me to talk about books, but if a tag requires me to talk about books or to mention channels, then I do want to have those listed. So I'll do a list of the prompts, and then under each prompt, like prompt number 1, I'll put my answer down if it's a book or if it's a booktube channel or something along the lines. Like if I want to mention something particularly, I make sure that I jot that note down. It might just be the name or a title that I'll put down for the prompts. Question number 2. Do you edit before you post? Deleting hems and haws, misspeaks, mispronunciations, and other common public speaking foibles? Do you remove things you didn't mean to say or off-topic thoughts or comments you think might be misunderstood? I don't edit and likes and other filler words. I think that those filler words and those pauses and those sounds, those are spacers sometimes when you need to take a moment to figure out, like a pause. And so I think they're normal parts of a conversation, like of a relaxed conversation with friends. This is not a professional production. I'm not doing this as a job. I'm not doing this in a performative way, like in like a super performative way where I'm expecting I'm going to get um like graded or anything like that. I I am here as a friend. I am here to imagine that I am sitting across from you and we are having a friendly, bookish chat, a conversation. So I talk to the camera like I have you in front of me, and maybe we're having a coffee and talking about whatever it is that is on our minds. And that is how I talk to the camera. I don't edit myself in that way. Now, mispronunciations, uh, I don't think I've edited those out. I know I've had my share of mispronunciations. Um, I want to do better with that. I think it's sometimes it just happens, and I always feel badly when I do mispronounce people's names, especially. Common public speaking foibles. I don't know that I've edited any of them out. I probably have said things that maybe I wish I hadn't said, but I don't always catch them, or I don't know, sometimes maybe I just posted something and in retrospect, maybe I think I should have been more conservative or not said so much, but it's done. Do you remove things you didn't mean to say or off-topic thoughts? I have. Sometimes I have rambling thoughts and I might be repetitive, and for your sake, to not have to have such a long video to watch, I will edit out chunks that sound repetitive or that are kind of rambly. And then off-topic thoughts, yeah, that's the rambling part. And comments you think might be misunderstood. Occasionally I might say something and then think, as I'm editing, how is that going to be heard? And is there a chance that somebody's not going to understand what I'm trying to say with this? And so if I, in editing, catch something that doesn't sound right or that sounds like that could be misinterpreted, then I will edit it out. But I don't do too much editing, as you can tell. I tend to try to just be as relaxed and unedited as possible. Question number 3. Have you ever edited a post after posting? Have you ever deleted an entire post? Yes and yes. Recently, I posted a tag video and I forgot to include the prompts in the description box, and my friend kindly reminded me or pointed out to me that I had not put the prompts in the description box. So I did go back and edit that description box, and I added the prompts to it immediately. Once I deleted an entire video that I had posted because there was no audio. So early on my booktubing, I posted a video. People started commenting that they were trying to watch the video, but there was no sound. So I tried to fix it on my end. I couldn't. I deleted it. I haven't deleted a video since. I have considered deleting videos, but then I think, am I trying to censor myself? For whose sake? Those are still conversations I have internally. Next, are there certain topics you avoid, things you regard as too personal or too controversial? When I first started booktube, I was a lot more conservative and more cautious, trying to avoid politics, religion, views that may be controversial. But I think that when you are a person with an identity that is targeted in some way or that is controversial in some way, you don't have the privilege to avoid topics. You don't have the privilege to ignore the world around you, you know? I don't think I have that privilege. So in the last several months, I've had to come to terms with myself and my identity and know that if I'm going to be an authentic person in the world, you know, I just show up as I am, and you either accept it or, you know, not. And so it's just, it is what it is. I, I can't like avoid, like politics, for example, current events. Sometimes things really affect my mental health. They affect my emotional state of being. They impact what I choose to read, what how I spend my time reading. Makes me, sometimes current events make me question how I'm choosing what I'm reading, and so I feel like reading is political, and I feel like that's my hobby, and it can't be avoided. And I'm a person that is shaped by politics and history and government over decades. So the person that I am today is shaped by all of these things over a span of decades. And that's a fact. It's a fact of my existence, so I can't avoid it, you know? Next one. Do your posts include graphics, special lighting, music, fast cuts, or other design enhancements? So I have a camera right here, and I have a light right here, and I use Canva for editing and graphics. I would like to include music, but I'm always super afraid of copyright loss. I don't want to get in trouble. Like the other day, I was talking about going to a concert, and I really wanted to play this song because it was in my brain, and I wanted to like sing it along, but I was so scared about copyright, so I didn't play it. And oftentimes I'm looking for music that I want to add. Sometimes I don't know how to get free music that fits what I want, like the vibe or the mood. An example is last year I created this reading project for myself. It was inspired by Bob's Burgers. I love Bob's Burgers, and I created like a reading list for Bob's Burgers. And so I started with Tina, and I was reading Tina books. And I wanted to make this whole series on my channel about this reading project, but I didn't want to get in trouble with using graphics from the cartoon or the little like jingle and the sounds and the music. I just got really nervous about copyright and violating copyright, and I ended up deciding I wasn't going to share that anymore on my channel because I couldn't get the right graphics and vibe that I wanted for that series. So I ended up just kind of making it a private reading project that I don't really talk about on my channel. But it's a project that I enjoy thinking about and reading for. Next, 6, do you have a target number of posts each week? Kind of. I think it's a good month if I've been able to do 2 tags, 2 Poetry Thursdays, and 1 weekend review video a week. So on a good month, you're going to get 2 tags, 2 Poetry Thursdays, and a week review video every Sunday. Occasionally, I like to sprinkle book reviews here and there. So in a month that I get to do a book review, I feel like super productive with my booktube channel. Where am I? Are there certain themed posts you contribute to regularly, such as Poetry Thursday or What Are You Reading Wednesday? Poetry Thursday, like I said, if I do 2 a month, that's great. I would like to do every Thursday, but with poetry, you really need to feel like I really need to feel inspired. And sometimes I don't always know what poetry to read. I always worry about poetry because I don't know, I feel like lately I've been reading a lot of sad poetry. I've been reading poetry about grief, um, just really sad and emotional poetry. And I don't think people don't usually watch my poetry videos. And that's because I try not to be so dark. But I feel like if I'm dark with my poetry picks, then less people will watch. So I do think about that. I really did have a really fun time with my last Poetry Thursday video, in which I did like a chain of, it was super spontaneous. I didn't plan any of it. I just read one poem, and then from that poem found a poem that like I could connect to. So I ended up making a chain of like I think 5 poems that I read super spontaneously. I had no idea what poems I was going to be reading. So it was really fun and I had a good time with it. Very few people watched that video, but I had fun. And I think the people who watched it kind of liked it. So then, what are you reading Wednesday? Okay, so the last time I did my first and last time that I read What Are You Reading Wednesday was a couple of weeks before my dog passed. And I haven't been able to rewatch that video because I can see myself in the video looking up and talking to her because she kept barking because she wanted to be next to me. And I knew that if I brought her to the living room, she was going to demand my attention. She wasn't going to let me read. And I really wanted to make this video for my community on booktube. And I just kept talking to her, and I kept calling my husband, asking him to please engage with her. And I think she just wanted to play and wanted to play with me because she wasn't gravitating towards my husband that day because I think she just wanted my attention. And I think I'm still kind of emotional about it. And I have thought about doing it on a Wednesday, but I feel kind of sad because I think it was the last time I did this, she was here and now she's not. And so that's still kind of aching. I have this ache inside, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to get through it. So it's still something I would like to get back to. We'll see. Next, how important to you is the number of your subscribers? Is there a target number you're hoping to reach? If you don't hit your target, would you consider dropping out of BookTube? Are your posts designed to attract new subscribers? Or are you just trust views? Okay, that's a lot. One at a time. How important to you is the number of your subscribers? The number of subscribers is important. I'm not going to say it isn't. But I think to me, more important than the number of subscribers is the number of views and the number of comments. So if I have 200 subscribers, but I only get 10 views on a video and only 1 comment, that doesn't feel great. The engagement is low. So that matters more, I think, than the number of subscribers. If I could have 10 subscribers, and if out of 10 subscribers I had 9 views and 5 comments, then that would feel better. So the number of subscribers is important, but I think views and comments matter. Engagement matters most. So next part of this question. Is there a target number you're hoping to reach? No, I don't want to say I have a target because then I'd have to be actively working on achieving that target, and I'm not actively working on achieving a target. I am just here to take things as they come, as I'm inspired to, based on what I'm reading. Like you saw, like that time I read that book and I was like, whoa, this is a surprise 5-star read. I love this book. Thank you, Annette Chavez Macias, for writing such a beautiful, fun family story about love and grief and everything. Yeah, I loved it. So that was a surprise, and then I was really excited to come and talk about it. So my target, I'm going to just do what I have fun doing, those poetry videos that I love to do that very few people watch, like, I'm doing those knowing that that's probably not getting me any new subscribers. But I enjoy them. And so not running a target, but just kind of doing my own thing. And we'll see who's here for it. If you don't hit your target, would you consider dropping out of booktube? Yeah, I've thought about it. I don't have a target, but I have thought about it. Like recently I've been thinking about it. Like, what am I doing here? I will make a Poetry Thursday video. It'll get very few views, very few comments. I've been losing subscribers more than I've been gaining. My channel does not have any growth at all right now. Like, so what am I doing here? And sometimes I post a video and I just, get very few comments. And I think, well, okay, so I'm behind. I have been struggling with time and grief and balancing work and life and all the stuff. And so I'm behind on watching my friends' videos. I was behind on comments. I'm caught up now on comments. I feel like the growth of my channel is going to come if I have the time to invest and watch other people's videos and comment on their channels and then bring them over and like actually do tags. I have a long list of tags that I haven't responded to. So there's that. So it's not like a one side thing. It's kind of like engagement goes both ways. And so if I'm having difficulty engaging with the community, I can't expect engagement in return. So it kind of goes back to that. But then when I think about closing my booktube channel and saying peace, I think about the friendships and what really matters to me. So I started this booktube channel because I wanted to connect with other readers, and I've actually made friends here. There are people I've never met in real life that I would consider friends. So when I think about the decision to delete my channel, delete my videos, step away from the booktube community, I think about Ellen at Ellen Mead Book Club, and I think about how thoughtful she is and what a great friend she is and how sweet she is and how I look forward to her comments on my videos. So I think about her. I think about my friend Kat, a curious cat who always watches, and when she doesn't get to watch, she'll message me on Instagram and just check in and let me know she's thinking about me and just wanting to connect. And I think about her and her friendship, and she's like my sister now. And I feel very fortunate and blessed and lucky and happy to have that kind of a friend. I think about Mimi, my friend Mimi, who I have not been in touch with for a while, but I always think about her. And I miss her and I think about her and I think about how much I love watching her videos. I think about my friend Sean at Sean Holt, who always does the tags when I tag him. Like he always does them, and I'm just so grateful. And he and I are both reading through the list of 1,000 books to read before you die. I have it right here, and every time I see it, I think of him because every once in a while we'll update each other on where we're at with that list, and that feels nice. I think about Crystal from Fiber Artsy. She joined the Books and Book of the US Book Club for the month of June. She and I have been on Discord, and I think about her when I'm thinking about The Grief Keeper and what I'm going to say about it. And if I'm thinking about a book review for it, I think about her. I think about Crystal. I also think about my friend Pat at Book Chat with Pat, who tags me in her tags pretty frequently. She hasn't done so in a while. Like this tag was not hers, but most of the times when I'm doing a tag, it's because she tagged me. So I think about her, particularly when I'm doing tags. I think about my friend Angelia at the channel Read and Reread because I love her sense of humor and she's always watching my videos, commenting on my videos. I look forward to her comments. She always comments and she'll say some really funny, witty things that either make me giggle, smile real big like this, or laugh so hard I spit out my coffee or my water, whatever it is I'm sipping on. So I look forward to interacting with her. I also think about Melinda at Web Stories because why would I leave BookTube if she and I are having so many like buddy reads and group reads together and we have so many more to look forward to, and I couldn't, right? Like we have so many reading engagements together that I look forward to coming on to hear what she's thinking about the books we're reading. And when I think about talking about the books I'm reading with Melinda, I think about coming here and talking about it and knowing that she's going to watch my video eventually when she gets to it, and we'll exchange comments or messages, and that brings me so much joy. I think about Brian at Bookish, who occasionally watches my videos, I think, and comments, and think about his videos and how thought-provoking they are, and sometimes we engage in back and forth comments, and about things that really matter too, you know, like not superficial fluff, but actually about things that really, really matter. So those are just some of the people that I think about, and I think about Gina from the channel, Gina Stanier, because if it wasn't for Gina, I probably wouldn't be on BookTube, and so I think about her quite often. Next, are your posts designed to attract new subscribers? No, and I know that they should. Like I know it helps when you have really fun thumbnails, and I think the person who's amazing at these is Erin from Erin Read a Book or Erin Read a Book. Erin, you are like awesome. Your thumbnails are always so funny and clever. I keep mine super simple. I really try to be as minimalist as possible when I'm looking for thumbnails or graphics. I'm always gravitating towards minimal, just because I think I don't I don't have the time or the skill to really go in too much, like to too much design elements. And I know that catchy titles are recommended to grab attention, like be dramatic, like a telenovela, something that is going to make you gasp and like want to click right away. I know. I don't do that. Should I? Yes. Will I? I don't know. Maybe. we'll see. And are you distressed if you lose subscribers? Well, I wouldn't say distressed, but definitely like sad a little bit. Like puts me in a reflective mood. I know I've been losing subscribers. Every day I lose a subscriber lately. I haven't had any gains in subscriber count for a while. So I am losing subscribers by the day, and I do again think, well, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I know that, and it is what it is, right? Like, I don't know. I'm still here because I have a community that, I have friends I really, really care about and I want to be in touch with and I want to communicate with. And so I have friends I'm looking forward to reading books with. And I think that's all that matters at this point. Do you always respond when tagged? I don't always respond when tagged. So Gina tagged me just today and I'm responding right away. But I have a list of tags that I haven't done that I would like to do. Will I get to all of them by the end of the year? Probably not, but I will try. And I do respond with like a thank you for tagging me. When I see that people have tagged me, I watch the video and then like the video and let them know that I appreciate being tagged. And then I come into my journal here and I enter a note and I have a list of like by month who tagged me and who created the tag and then cross it off my list when I finish it. So that's how I respond when I am tagged. Do you respond to viewers' comments? I respond most of the time. I had taken a break, so I was really behind. So I didn't respond to comments for a little while. I've caught up. There are 2 comments that I haven't responded to because I am emotional about the subject and I don't know how to respond. So if you don't get a response from me, it's probably because there's some level of emotional depth that I am navigating and I'm not sure how deep I want to respond or how I want to respond to the comment. So sometimes I pause and I don't respond right away because I'm trying to figure out what I want to say and how I want to say it, what I want to say. Sometimes I get comments that I know are not people who watch my videos because they're engaging with me as a reader friend, as a bookish friend. Sometimes you get like those channel, like growing your channel kind of promotional things, and I just don't. And then comments are filtered, so there might be comments that booktube isn't showing me that I'm not responding to. Are your responses lengthy, a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Not always lengthy. Sometimes I try to respond succinctly. I try not to go into too much in a comment. I try to just keep it like direct. I can be very wordy. I like it when friends have access to talking to me outside of booktube. So if there's like a longer conversation that should be happening on either on Instagram or Voxer or Discord, like then those people will reach out to me on another platform. And I like Voxer because you do voice memos and sometimes it's too much to like text. And sometimes I just prefer a voice memo. And so it's really nice when people message me outside of booktube to engage in like a deeper kind of a conversation, and I really appreciate that. I also have access to email, so I know lately Sui and I have been communicating via email, and I have enjoyed that mode of conversation as well. Have you ever blocked anyone from viewing or commenting on your posts? No, not yet. And I hope I never have to, but I understand why people would have to do that. And tag some booktube friends. So I'm going to tag to people I've mentioned. I mentioned Mimi at the channel It's Mimi Duong because it's been a minute and because I am curious if she hasn't already done this tag. I would love to hear her behind the scenes answers. And also Sean as Sean Holt because I'm also curious about his behind the scenes answers and his thoughts on some of these questions. And if I know this tag has been going around for a while and I am late to this because I was on a break, but if you haven't done this tag and you really want to, consider yourself tagged by me and tag me back so I can know you did it and I can watch your video, and I'd be more than happy to and really be really excited to comment on your video. So that is all that I have to share for now. Thank you so much for watching, and it's late and you're going to see this on Wednesday, but it's still a few minutes left for Tag Tuesday here. So thanks again. Hasta la próxima.